Right, about time that I got round to issue 30 of Combat Patrol, which is a paint issue. So, depending on whether or not you need paints, is one of those, do I need to buy this issue? As a lot of people I've noticed that they don't always like the idea of a paint issue, they just want the models. Which means sometimes they're hanging around. Now, if you happen to do a hell of a lot of painting, however, it's sometimes good to actually get extra issues if no one else is grabbing them. Just purely because if you do a lot of painting, you find that you burn through your paints very quickly. I'll go through our two colours that we get. And in a lot of ways, they're also what you might call not very exciting colours either, so I'll get around to that in a second. Right on the front, we've got our lovely Bloodthirster there. And straight away, no build, so we're heading straight into how to paint. Now, this is covering how to use the Agrax Earthshade, which is basically a brown wash, which is very good for things like between pages of books, for purity seals and things like that. Basically to be a different colour than just sort of inking in black. It works very well on skin tones. It also works very well on metallics like gold, having brown shading. What else have we got to do as well? So there's little bits on the Agrax Earthshade. There's a little bit about relayering certain parts of the Space Marines as well, particularly the Rakarth Flesh, Mephiston Red and Wraith Bones to do. That is a continuation of a previous issue where it covered relayering of the Tyranids. Okay, so that's actually quite an easy painting session then for these Space Marines. There's also a bit of relayering going on, not relayering, washing, that's the right word, of the Eldari. Because I'm not using red, I'm using black, so I've kind of washed my Craftworld Ulthwer in the black. The problem is with black armor and a black wash is it makes everything very black, and that's something that I've got to think about and work with in the future about improving the depth and tone. So again, there's always these little bits about, you know, how we're going to use our Agrax Earthshade. Now, I'm just having a quick look at something here. And something has jumped out at me. They've given us a paint. They've not showed us how to use it. That's unusual, to say the least. Now, all I can think is that they've got plans for the future on this one. And they kind of were like, well, we've put our ink in. We only really need the ink at this point of painting. We need to put another paint in that we're going to use in the future. So it's obvious that they've prepared for this one, but they've not planned on actually using it. So that's actually a bit of a different approach. Gosh, look at the lid on this. I mean, this could have easily come undone in the actual delivery. Look at that, it's like really popping off, isn't it? Okay, right, what else have we got going on here? The Harlequins, who are a unique Eldari group, basically following the I can't remember what the Eldari god Kriog, I can't even pronounce that, Sigorach. Anyway, the cool thing about the Harlequins is they go for really kind of bright, bold colours, a mix of black and then quite a lot of like vibrant colours to pick it off with. The Harlequins are really cool actually as an Eldari faction. What else have we got here? The lethal artwork of the Harlequins, which again is very lovely. Great things going on here. I'm not sure I could paint that well, to be quite honest, to get that kind of detail on them. But definitely I love the idea of the Harlequins, and they are such old school Warhammer 40k miniatures as well. They have the kind of complete and utter wackiness going on for them. You know, they go back to that early Warhammer 40k where it was a dark setting, but it was also completely and utterly potty. So the fact that the Harlequins have maintained a combination of absolutely creepy yet completely insanely just like really wacky aesthetic. I'm worried about this magazine. Look at that, it's been glued badly. Look, can you see it's ripping as I'm opening it? It's not very well bound magazine, this one. Okay, a little bit on the Realm of Chaos and the Chaos Space Marines, because we're heading to those issues quite soon. I said, I'm trying to think where I'm up to with mine. I don't have much use for either of these colours yet myself, but I'll try and do a little tutorial about where you can use them on the Space Marines when we get there. Right then. Some really cool actually stuff going on here. I'm just having a quick look at the, you know, they're bringing in the Chaos now, and that is because in the next issue we are of course heading towards the Chaos Space Marines. Nice little battle going on here. Looks like the idea of this is, it kind of feels like you've got a bit of the designing it so you can almost choose your forces. Let me have a quick look at that. Yeah, it's quite, I'm just trying to kind of read up. So the scenario is there, but it feels to me like it's set up so you don't have to feel like you're using a particular faction, which is good because, you know, we've got, what, 3 factions so far heading into our 4th with the Chaos. So there we go. Yeah, so the magazine in itself is got some nice stuff in it. It's for a paint issue, the actual painting tutorial is a bit basic, to be quite blunt about it. Normally when we get a paint issue, I like to see different styles of painting on display, and with this one it seems to have just hit a very basic do what we did previously. Now we've got the Earthshade, which is a nice dark brown, which is fantastic for golds, for getting shadow onto gold metallics, on skin tones and things like that. Particularly if you've got like a mid colour, so basically not the kind of pasty white that I am, but not a dark colour either, a very dark colour, so something that is kind of slightly tanned. Do you know what? I've just realised that I was doing some housework before. Never mind. I've took my wedding ring off doing my. It's weird having it not there. Right, I took it off while I was doing some housework before. Then I forgot to put it back on. Right. So there's my Earthshade is quite a good one for doing different skin tones that are like a kind of nice, basically, as I said, not a very light skin tone or a very dark skin tone. It works for kind of like mid tones. Mechanicus Standard Grey. Now, I am probably going to have a need for this when I do my Chaos Space Marines, because I plan on doing my own Word Bearer successor, well, Splinter faction to be precise. Okay, so there we go. That is our issue number 30. I actually find it quite a strange issue in a lot of ways, in a sense that we get 2 paints, but it doesn't actually explore the use of one of them, which to my mind is kind of not great, that, if I'm going to be blunt about it. Anyway, so what I will do though is I will kind of move on as quickly as possible, hopefully to the next issue soon, get round to doing the painting tutorial as soon as I can on this one, and other than that, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.